Have you ever had to ask yourself that question? What are we going to do now? John is one of the greatest stories or characters in the Bible. John is a man like many of us. He had multiple different names. If some folks, I got friends who got this name for their family, they got this name on the job, they've got this name in the neighborhood. They had many different names. Matthew chapter 3, verse 1, the Bible says, calls John the Baptist. Mark chapter 1, verse 4, he's called John the Baptizer. Luke chapter 3, verse 2, he's known as John, the son of Zechariah. And in John chapter 1, verse 19, he's simply known as John. John was also a cousin of Jesus, according to Luke chapter 1, verses 36 through 37. It says, "Behold thy cousin Elizabeth. She has also conceived a son in her old age, and she is now in the 6th month with her who was called barren. For with God nothing shall be impossible." It is argued and believed that Elizabeth was between 60 and 90 years old at the time that she gave birth. It wasn't just enough that Elizabeth, John's mother, was unable to have children physically, but she was also up there in her age. But yet she still conceived a child. Here's a woman who couldn't have children, but God answered her husband's prayer and gave them what they had been asking for. Brothers and sisters, the first thing I want to tell you this morning is that although things may be too hard for man, the Bible says that there's nothing too hard for God. I don't care what you're facing. I don't care what you're dealing with. There's nothing on earth that's too hard for God. What do you need from God? God has got the answer. Whatever you're going through, God has the answer. There's nothing too hard for God. And that ought to give us some encouragement this morning. That ought to give us some joy this morning on the 3rd Sunday of Advent. Joy to know that whatever I need, God's got it. Whatever I need, all I have to do is fall on my knees and stretch my hands and say, "Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraw thyself from me, no other help I know." Whatever you need, God has it, and it ought to give you some excitement in life. The Bible says that nothing is too hard for God.